Welcome everyone, Dr. Thor here. Get ready for Gnosis. I want to talk about a prominent person in the kind of techno industry and who, I should say, the alternative, of course, at the big surge, which was the late 1980s into the 1990s, where there was a huge interest in consciousness technology, I guess you could, alternative technologies based in consciousness, things from biofeedback. Radionics was a small part of it, and many other things such as that. Now, Terry Patten was one of these people who is mostly known for his very successful book on biocircuits. And that book sold a huge amount of copies, apparently, on this technology, which is basically was based on the work of Eamon. So Eamon was the person, and we've done a little lecture on him, and we've shown what basic biocircuits look like. So he published that book. It did very well. He also founded the very well-known and successful in that golden age Tools for Exploration mail-order business, which sold all these kind of, biofeedback, biocircuits, supplements. I think he was selling the SC5 for a period of time, and many things like that. So it had all these tools that were very difficult to find and not very well known. Put out a really nice full-color catalog. He was based in the San Francisco area, out of San Rafael, I believe, up in that Northern California area, where he ran this business and apparently started the business in 1988 until 1998, when he actually sold the business. And we're going to get into tools for exploration here in another lecture, quick lecture. So, but basically, he was born in Chicago, Illinois, in 1951, and his family was very much involved in the alternative community. And apparently, at the age of 6, his family moved into a community cooperative run by the Church of the Brethren, who invited people of all races and religions to live together in peace and brotherhood. So you can see that's a very strong thing to grow up with. Even in that time. So you're talking about, of course, this is in the 60s and so forth, when these things were more popular and people were really trying to do something. But that's a radical thing to go through. So it's very unnatural life, so to speak, if you're brought up with that. So you've got to figure out what kind of a family he's coming from and their basic thoughts. In 1973, he became a student of the brilliant and controversial American spiritual teacher Adi Da Samjai. During his 15-year period as a formal devotee. So he spent 15 years studying under this he's an American guru. And of course has all the trappings of the Indians again. And if you want to look into something like that, that's up to you. I'm just trying to give you a background. But I mean, that's where he's coming from. That's his belief systems. He's written some new books as well. And again, he started Tools for Exploration, as I just mentioned. And apparently, during his leadership of that organization, it went from nothing to $2.5 million in revenues. I don't know how long he was doing, how much of it, but that's fairly impressive for that time. But that was the boom time. That was the golden age of all this. This is 1988, etc. This is, of course, when I had my own institute and other things, and when there was a lot of interest in this. He sold Tool for Exploration in 1998 and founded Old Growth Again, which is a model for sustainable redwood industry. So you see, he's into all this. He's doing all this basically good work. He's worked with others like Ken Wilber, Integral Life Practice, all of these different systems. He apparently went to Iran in 2007 as a civilian to do some diplomatic work. His new book, A New Republic of the Heart, Ethos for Revolutionaries, a guide to inner work for holistic change. These usual New Agey type books, and I guess it depends how much of this bunk you want to read. It's easy when you're rich and famous to love the world and have everybody work together when most of the world has pulled a gun on you. But, I have problems with this and always has, which is why I rejected Indian philosophy, yogi type philosophy, which ends up that nothing is real, nothing is nothing matters. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, nothing matters. Yeah. That's right. We are physical entities. We live here regardless of what reality that may be. Whether we're the speck on the head of a pin in some far-off galaxy or not, it's real, baby. So the whole idea is that's basically what he's done. He has come out with, and why I'm mentioning him, he is one of the founders of this kind of areas, bringing these kind of technologies to the public through Tools for Exploration, which, of course, had its heyday and then, of course, is now fairly dead. It's now Tools for Wellness, which is based out of Austin, Texas, and pretty much down to nothing. I mean, most of the type of things are no longer unique or hard to find that are in that catalog, and I had some contact with them after the company was sold. And I'll talk about that in my lecture on Tools for Exploration, where I go into more details, because I think that's an interesting story. So he has now written another book, or an updating book, on biocircuits, which is one of the reasons why I am making this particular lecture. So he's come up with an updated edition of his book. You find the link below. I have a link for the Kindle edition, which is inexpensive. It's Biocircuits, the natural tool that promotes sleep, boosts energy, and expands awareness. Can we get any more vague? So the whole idea is that it does include a double-blind study that was conducted on biocircuits, showing the kind of effects it had in a very positive way. So these are meditative relaxation tools that help flow, and I've talked about this already. And of course, all these little studies are very nebulous and so forth. Does it work for you? Who knows? But the basic technology is very, very subtle, and it needs to have a lot of energies put into the circuits for you to get major results from it. But it certainly is an interesting tool. It makes sense in the balancing of body polarities if it's done correctly. But he has his new edition, and I'm assuming we're going to see lots of popping up of biocircuits for sale. They tend to be very expensive right now, and they weren't that expensive looking back at his old catalogs, but to get your basic biocircuits, which cost $200 to $300, seems to be a little bit out there. But like any tool, you're going to use it all the time. If it's something that works for you, fantastic. Use it. And of course, we're all different biological entities, and that's part of the problem of any technology. And that means regular meds and drugs and everything else. There's a certain percent of people with all medications that die. Are we going to then classify that medication as terrible? Well, if you die, it is. But the point is hundreds of thousands of other people use it and get some sort of success. Maybe, I guess. I don't know. Terry's an interesting guy. He wrote the book, which I'm assuming is his wife, Leslie, and is active in this whole new. Apparently, he has done quite well for himself. He's made a lot of money with his books, and with, of course, Tools for Exploration, which I'm assuming he sold for quite a pretty penny. So I'm assuming he's doing okay. And of course, he has his own website, which is terrypatten.com, if you want to go there and check it out. I have links for his book there. But he's one of the people that had this, and of course, I think there may be a resurgence of biocircuits with the book, and this whole area is something of interest, and we're going to make our own kind of biocircuits, more advanced than these kind of primitive tools that these other people are making, but he's an interesting character and tools for exploration. With its popularity and its very well done full color catalogs getting out to the masses of public, was a great help to the alternative science industry, is what I call. And this was when this expanded people's consciousness into all of these psychic and semi-scientific areas of using machines and technologies and supplements that affect the brain and all the things that go with these things as a general rule. So he was a major player in it, and of course he's now into his more philosophical pursuits. As I said, I don't really know what the New Republic of the Heart, the ethos for revolutionaries, really states. And all of that. So he's trying to help in his own particular way. I'm not really sure that any of that kind of New Age gibberish does much in the long run, but it makes you feel warm and fuzzy inside. Don't you feel warm and fuzzy? It's all about love and peace, baby. So the whole idea is that, unfortunately, the world is a cruel, rotten, horrible place. When you accept that, life ain't too bad. If you live in a reality of these kind of infantile belief systems of the world working together and things are going to be nice with the amount of corruption and evil we have, well, you're really nothing more than a coward. There's no ethics in that. There's only one ethics in living in that reality, is that you're a coward and you're not confronting the world, plain and simple. So, those interested and want to get the updated edition of his Biocircuit book, I always recommend these things you should know about bioenergy. This is very important if you're a advanced science student, a manifesting science student, to understand that, particularly with all the different energies we use, what we use in our manifesting energy cells, with our radionic machines, with all the stuff that we put out with our special sigil technology. These all interact at a very deep level with your bioenergy. So it all kind of fits together. And if you pump in a sigil into your biocircuit, you're going to get some quite powerful effects in the process. So it's an interesting concept and an interesting tool. And while I'm always very pragmatic, show me. I want to see results of some sort. We all have to understand that these are bioactive, meaning they go into your bioenergy, your body, and it reacts differently. And that's why all of these things tend to be difficult to prove. But the technology, the understanding of creating a energy circuit around you is certainly proven and something I recommend people look into. Until next time.